coming off the video I made Monday about laws being tried to be passed in places like Indiana and wherever else to try and make it harder for you to get health care coverage, affordable, make it more expensive for you, or even get a job if you're a cigarette smoker. A number of you sent in articles to me about the subject of e-cigarettes, e-cigs, whatever you want to call them, electronic cigarettes. And I've wanted to talk about this for a while. I've seen a lot of the news reports about them being banned in places like New York City, like you're not even allowed to smoke them out in public there now. And a number of you sent messages to me about this, and this is definitely something I've always wanted to talk about ever since this whole hubbub has been whipped up by this. Now, for those of you who don't know what e-cigarettes are, whatever you want to call them, they're basically just little electronic cigarettes. They look like cigarettes. They're the same size. They have a little light that glows, and you puff on them, and instead of, puffing in smoke and all that other good shit that's in a cigarette, it's a water vapor that has concentrations of some things that are in cigarettes, like trace amounts of nicotine, certain chemicals, etc., to basically simulate the feel and satisfying thirst quench, for lack of a better term, that you get from a cigarette. It has been used to help people kick the habit, to get them off of smoking. It is used to be a safer alternative to smoking in the bed. Each year, numerous cases of a cigarette smoker taking a cigarette into bed with them and accidentally falling asleep and setting the house on fire, killing themselves and their loved ones. It's an alternative to not have to go outside in the cold. You can go into the corner of the building or something, or sit at your desk and still smoke it, and no one around you would even know for a second that you're doing something to satisfy your smoking urges. It's odorless, colorless, has a little vapor that you can see immediately out of the person's mouth, and it dissipates. I've personally walked by someone who was smoking one of these, and I've tried to pick up the odor. There's no hint of it. Your clothes don't stink from it. But it's being banned in places like New York City. In New York City, you're not even allowed to smoke it out in the streets right now. Hell, you can't even buy them in the streets of New York City right now. And when I read the reasons as to why they're getting banned, I just go, if this isn't symptomatic of all the obvious signs of what the fuck is really going on here, then I don't know what is. You see in all these articles typical things of saying like, oh, well, we don't know about these e-cigs. The jury's still out on them. They haven't been on the market long enough. We don't know the long-term effects of them. Really? Well, the jury is not out on cigarette smoking, and we know what the long-term effects of those are. It's death, cancer, suffering, house fires, etc., etc. It's stinking up your clothes. It's bothering the immediate people around you. It's ticking off the non-smokers that don't want to smell like a cigarette, etc., etc. But now that this alternative is on the market that helps people quit, doesn't bother the immediate people around them, that simply, if you want to discreetly be more discreet about, just go to the bathroom and light up, even if there's no smoking anywhere on the premises in the place you're at, including the bathroom, no one would know. Your urge gets quenched, and no one gets bothered. But the jury's still out on it. We don't know what they're going to do. Oh. Sure, it may eventually lead to cancer because it does have some of the similar carcinogens that are in cigarettes. Obviously, the companies that make these, which, by the way, are all major tobacco companies, all major tobacco companies currently have a form of e-cig on the market right now. What does that tell you? It tells you that the major tobacco companies can read the writing on the wall and see that this is a trend that is catching on, and they want to cash in on it. Now, why would lawmakers and mayors, etc., want to stop e-cig smoking in their town? Well, it could be that they're in the tobacco lobbyist pockets, or they're in the tobacco lobbyists, the tobacco lobbyists are in their pockets and saying, hey, if you outlaw these, it's going to help increase sales of regular cigarettes. Now I know in a place like New York City, you know, there's so many restrictions of where you can smoke and where you can't, but it's getting to the point where it's just flat out being outlawed in New York City to even smoke an e-cigarette. But we can't do that. But if you want to walk around and breathe in the Manhattan air with bumper-to-bumper traffic and all that, and the buildings and the fumes and everything else, that's fine. E-cigs, no. Now I know I said how you know, all the major tobacco companies are making a form of e-cig, so therefore they are cashing in on it. So it's like, well, Archfiend, you know, if you know they're losing tobacco sales of the regular cigarettes, they're still cashing in on the, you know, sale of e-cigs. Well, that is true, but the thing is, e-cigs have been shown to help people get off of smoking forever. Well, obviously you can't determine someone's going to go off forever, but even to stop smoking for a little bit of time is going to hurt big tobacco's revenue. And e-cigs, basically, if you rank them against each other, they're cheaper than someone buying, you know, that's the proverbial 2-3 pack of smoker a day type person. And on top of that, the government doesn't like the fact that e-cigs aren't taxed the same way as regular cigarettes are. So tax revenues being lost. So of course the lawmakers and politicians are going to be against this. It's just sad that it's becoming so evident that that's where it's going. Well, the jury's still out on these. We don't... Oh, did you see this chemical that's in them? It's the same thing that's in antifreeze. My God, if I see that in one more fucking article about e-cigarettes. They point to this one chemical that I barely can pronounce the name of, so I'm not going to try to do it here. This is the same chemical that's in antifreeze. It's also the same chemical that's in cigarettes. So why are you going to ban one thing because it has, oh, it's potential carcinogens and trace amounts of nicotine and this chemical that's in antifreeze? Ban fucking cigarettes then too. Ban fucking cigarettes. In fact, cigarettes are a much more dangerous option. They cause house fires. They're proven to cause lung cancer. The jury's not out on them. Ban them. Everywhere. Stop sales. Everything. Do what you're doing to e-cigs. Do the same thing to regular cigarettes. The fucking hypocrisy and double standards are fucking astonishing. They don't want people buying e-cigs because it's helping people quit and because it's a cheaper alternative than buying 2-3 packs a day, and how people might just eventually just, you know, not need e-cigs anymore. They might just kick the habit altogether. I can't believe this shit. As someone myself who is against smoking, who doesn't plan on smoking anything in the near future, my God, why would I want to stifle something that would help people kick the habit or help people sustain and quench their urges of nicotine in a way that is so non-intrusive to those around them, that decreases the risk of a house fire if they want to smoke it in bed? I'd love to see how you start a fire with an e-cig. It's fucking ridiculous. Just absolutely fucking ridiculous that more and more laws and bans against e-cigs are popping up every fucking day. That's just shameful. Oh boy, and if it ain't obvious why these laws and restrictions are popping up, then I don't know how else to explain it to you people. It's that big tobacco lobbyist money. Oh, we got to do something about these e-cigarettes, but we're going to manufacture our own just so we can cash in on the craze. Fucking assholes. Oh my God. Only in America too. I'd love to see. Is there anywhere else around the world? Because the e-cigs are very popular in China. I didn't see any sort of reports or anything about them being banned in China. I don't know, you viewers out there in Europe, do you see anything about e-cigs being banned in your countries? It's fucking ridiculous. It's just shameful. It's just shameful and so obvious of the corrupt fucking machine that is American just politics and money and everything else. It's fucking shameful. Anyway, everyone, have a good day. And if you're a smoker, try an e-cig out because it's been shown to help people kick the habit and you aren't going to set your fucking bed on fire and kill your entire family. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Well, that was a nice note to end the video on. Kill your entire family. Jesus Christ. Take care, everyone. Oh, and one last thing that I forgot to mention that keeps getting mentioned in these articles that support banning of e-cigs is that some e-cigs come in assorted colors and flavors like bubblegum, mint, chocolate, etc. And they're saying that's appealing to children, so therefore they must be banned because it's turning children on to cigarette smoking or simulated cigarette smoking, or whatever the case may be. Well, if that's the case and you want to be more of a double standard in this, then we got to ban alcohol. Because I was in the liquor store the other day and I saw the Pinnacle vodka aisle and Smirnoff vodka aisle. They had flavors like cookie dough, bubblegum, cotton candy. I'd say that's pretty much appealing to children too. So while we're banning everything, let's ban alcohol as well. Let's go back to prohibition. All right. Anyway, everyone, have a fantastic day, a better tomorrow, and don't burn your fucking houses down and kill your entire families with cigarettes. Go with e-cigs. Ended on the same somber note again. Have a good day, everyone.